Uh, uh, hi. um, I am. If I sound kind of different, it's because I've been dealing with the cold for like the past week. L- Literally, like it's literally been like a week with this, and so yeah. Sorry if I sound different. It's fucking sucks. I've had Amazing Digital Circus Pilot. What is this? 22 million views, by the way. It came out 9 days ago. Okay. We'll watch that in a minute because it's only 25 minutes. Uh, or we can watch it later. But I'm still sick and still feel like shit. But, you know, I had to get through it while working, so I can get through it while streaming. I don't know how it's gonna affect my performance in Dark Souls. What I can tell you, however, is since my last stream, I have been playing. I got back into Isaac, and I beat Tainted Blue Baby. I'm done with Tainted Blue Baby, and I've moved on to Eve, and I've already gotten a lot of her completion marks done. I'm currently working on Greedier mode, which is kicking my ass because she is fucking annoying to play in that game mode. Uh, so I'm not having a good time right now with that one. And then it's gonna be even harder to deal with Hush and I did wait, did I do Delirium? Oh fuck, yeah, no wait, I already fought Delirium. But I haven't fought Hush yet. I need to fight Hush. Oh my god. And then I also have to get to Boss Rush, which is a whole other thing. But is this music too loud? I swear, like I turned it down. I mean, I listen at volume like 30. Like I listen at like low volume. So like for me, like this is probably loud for you at 100. And I have like your guys' stuff like turned down a little bit as well, so it shouldn't be that loud. But looking at the audio, it looks like it might actually be whatever. And you also have the audio that's added from the video that's playing. Anyways, I don't expect to beat this game today. So don't expect anything cuz it's been like a week. What is this? So what's the Digital Circus? It's a dark psychological dark comedy. Psychological horror. I guess we could watch this real quick. I don't know what videos it would show. I'll just watch this on my own, honestly. Okay. I'm just gonna watch that on my own. We won't watch it on here. Okay. Um so yeah, no, again, like I'm sick still with a cold. So if I sound different, or like more nasally or something today, then that's why. I just wanna put that out there. Uh uh man. Ah, okay. Movie game, Dark Souls time. Jeez. Okay. Ugh. It's been a minute. I don't even remember a lot. I guess I kind of do. Like, how he plays or whatever. Just, he has like 4 phases, and then his final phase is just a rehash of the first game's boss fight. Because they were like, you could cheese them, so they're like, okay, so let's just make a character that you can't parry or do it, or like do backstabs to. And now you have to fight him. Alright, what do you do in this first part? I forget. Oh, yeah. Alright. Man, I am not in my zone right now. It's been so long. It's been like a week. Ow. Yeah. Okay. I don't really have any strategies. I guess, just don't die. And don't get hit. Yeah, that's a good idea. Don't die and don't get hit. Alright, I'll try that out. Oh shit. Ow. Okay, hold on. Stop that. Okay, here we go. Ow. Ow. It's supposed to be don't get hit, right? There we go. And then we heal. Now he switches to the annoying weapon. Oh, I dodged though. I like how he can spam the exact same moves like 3 times. Okay. Alright. Yeah. I love that. I just need to punish his like slow to get out of attacks, I guess. That's pretty much it. Give myself my best ability is the dodge roll poke. That is my best attack in my moveset. This attack right here gives me just enough time for me to like sometimes get out of a attack that he does. Okay, that's just some bullshit. That's just some bullshit. Oh, great. Oh, I missed. Ow. Oh, I missed. Morty. Man, I wonder what happened here. I'm guessing people like do like fighting here or something. I retrieved my 0 souls. Oh good, he didn't attack me afterwards. Okay, that attack, I cannot dodge those because he like... No, you're supposed to... So like that attack you can punish, you know? Okay. There you go. I was able to actually dodge roll out of that just to... What kind of bullshit is that? Oh great, he has this fucking pole. I hate the pole. I'm stuck. You're like harassing me. Stop that. Get out of here with your stupid pole. I hate your pole. I hate your pole. I hate your dumbass. Okay. I hate everything about that set. At least it's more punishable than the one where he's dual wielding 2 swords. And he's like fast moving and has like infinite stamina. And he like dodge rolls towards you. Does like all these like samurai moves or whatever. He's like he becomes like an anime protagonist. I can't do anything about it. And then like when he has the lance ability, it's like supposed to be a slow attack, but then he like turns it into like this like massive. Oh, he's gonna do like 2 of those this time. Okay. Missed. Great, now he has a samurai sword. Oh wait, no, wait. Is that a samurai sword? Yeah, that's a samurai sword. That's the annoying ability. Yeah, and he like shoots poison and stuff too. It's like really annoying. Yeah, he like does that too. Why can't he also keep spawning those? Like, look at that. Like, how am I supposed to deal with that shit? Why does he keep spawning those? That's a glitch. That has to be like a glitch or whatever. The fact that he can keep spawning those. Okay, now he's doing this fucking lance ability, which is just fucking annoying. Oh, I missed. I missed. What kind of... Oh my god. What bullshit is that? This is like lance attack shit. It's like, okay. I tried to dodge at the same time that he did that. Oh great, he has the fucking lance like ability that just like auto locks onto you half the fucking time. So fucking annoying. Dude. I love getting completely owned in seconds by like one ability, like one of his phases that he has. It's like I have to think like, what am I supposed to do against that version of him? Because it's like it doesn't make any fucking sense. There we go. Here we go. Alright, next phase. This is the hardest phase, definitely, is his Lord of Cinder phase that he does. Oh yeah, back up, back up, back up, back up, back up, back up, back up. Okay, so when we have to make sure we avoid him doing that shit. I had no energy left. Hold on. Let me fucking think. Okay. He's gonna throw lightning. Okay. Aw, damn. I should have fucking... I don't know, like, his entire moveset, so I need to just, like, back the fuck up. Like, 2 seconds. Please. Please, 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 please. Okay. I need to, like, run, right? That's, like, the... I missed. I fucking missed. Okay, well, whatever. It's fine. Just back up. Okay. Just... Okay. I pretty much seen his entire fucking moveset at this point. I just need to, like, chill the fuck out. That's his, like, one moveset that I can, like, definitely punish. Okay, he fucking tricked me. Oh, fuck. Okay. 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 Oh my god, he's gonna do it again. Okay. No, why did I do that? 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 Oh, fuck. Okay. Yep, yep, yep. Avoid that. Avoid that. Don't pay attention to his health bar at all. Just focus, okay? Just fucking focus. Okay. Yep, okay. Okay, okay. Okay, okay. Don't attack. Don't attack. Just focus on thinking about healing. Just think about healing. Just think about, don't think about healing now. Don't think about healing. Just wait until he does his, like, major attacks. There you go, that one. Very good, very good. Okay. Now focus on dodging and doing damage and shit. Oh, fuck. Okay. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Okay. No, stop. You're getting too greedy. You're getting too greedy. All right. Screenshot. To link the first flame. Holy fuck. Okay. Whatever. I mean, I knew I was gonna fucking... There's a chance that it was just gonna be like a 30-minute fucking stream, and I wouldn't care. And it's unfortunate. I mean, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with ending it like this. What I think I'm gonna do is I'm going to, like, I'll find something else to do. I have other stuff that I could stream right now. I could just do some Isaac stuff. So what we could do is stop the stream and then restart the stream with, like, new title and everything. Excuse me. Anyways, okay, so what's my thought? What's my thoughts on this game? Okay. This game overall is the most beautiful game. The animations were fantastic. I loved the art direction. I think my biggest problem is definitely it has the exact same flaws that Dark Souls 1 has. Dark Souls 1 and Dark Souls 2 has. So let's take the dungeon, for example, where you have the jailers, or whatever the fuck they're called, right? Oh my god, this music is too loud. Hold on. Shut up. Let me turn it down for you guys, and I'm gonna turn it down for me. Because, holy shit, Dark Souls, calm the fuck down. Okay. Hopefully you can hear me. I'm gonna talk louder than the fucking... shit. Okay. So, the jailers, or whatever the fuck they are, with the lanterns, where they basically, all they do is they sit there, and they can just drain your health from whatever. Hey, what's up? You just missed me beating the boss in... Watch the earlier streams if you want to watch me struggle. Anyways, I'm sick. So right now I'm doing my review that I do after every game that I play through. So, the lantern people, whatever they are, the jailer people, they are one of the most obnoxious and stupid characters, like just enemies that I've ever had to fight. Because their design is so fucking annoying, and there's so many times they just like threw all of them in like one little area. There's like 5 of them hanging out, walking around in a circle that you have to kill them to get past them to get to this, to get further in. And, yeah, it's like, they like lower your health, and then on top of that, not only does it lower your health significantly, and it can just lower it infinitely until you just straight up die. It will also slow you, slow you down as if you got like you got that freeze effect. And it's just, and then they on top of them being able to do that to you, even though it really shouldn't. They for some reason also allowed them to basically have like swinging attacks to actually just stab you. Anyways, it's the most unnecessary, like unfair enemy to deal with, especially like if you're a melee fighter. It is so obnoxious and takes forever to get through them. The fact that they even respawn after killing them is just an insult. The weird like frogs that give you curse. I don't even know what curse does in this game. I guess it doesn't have any effect in this one. I actually liked the curse effect in Dark Souls 1. I think it was really interesting, and it added something to the game. It actually had a meaningful gameplay to it, where, okay, so what if you struggle and you're not able to get the little talisman things that you needed in Dark Souls 1 to let you kill ghosts in the one area, right? I forgot what you call it. Lower Londo or something? New Londo ruins. So like you could do that, or you could go down to the depths or whatever, and you can go get yourself cursed, and then when you're cursed, you can attack the ghosts, but you also have half the amount of health that you have until you get uncursed. It's a really interesting thing that really punishes you. Like, first of all, I didn't get punished for it, so that's great for me. But I can see how frustrating the curse system could be. If I think you can get like a way to cure. You can get a cure for the cursing stuff. Like, what's going on with the audio? You can get a cure for the curse from, like, I think the one lady in the drain or whatever. But in this game, I don't even know. Like, all the curse did was it was a build up to just instantly kill you. I don't know if it did anything else. Another thing was the hollowing effect had almost no purpose for existing anymore. There was no reason to for being hollowed other than a physical form. That it was kind of useless. Like, at least there was a purpose, and there was a purpose for it in Dark Souls 1. Or sorry, yeah, Dark Souls 1 had a purpose in terms of you need to be unhollowed to do something with Ember. So you can do something with the Ember flasks or whatever. And in Dark Souls 2, which I think had the best system, where if you were hollowed, your health is halved by 50%. Or, well, it's halved by 5% every time you die, up until 50%. And when you use a human effigy, you become human again, and you get your full health. I think that was a fantastic system. I think it was great. I wish they brought it back in Dark Souls 3. They kind of did, in the fact that there's the Ember system. But what is this? Begin Journey 2 in the current state. Journey 2 can be initiated from the Shrine Bonfire if you do not wish to begin now. No. There you go. Hey, what's up? I did it.
Ashen One, link the fire. For the Lords of Cinder. For the Ashen Prisoners. For all those held to preserve the fire. Link the first flame. Ashen One, to be a...
Okay, yeah, whatever. Yeah, okay. This is also the only game in the series that I've played so far from Dark Souls 1 to Dark Souls 3 where I have not been level 100. This...
well met, Ashen One.
Hi.
How may I...
Here, I gotta... Can I purchase the armor? Or is that in New Game Plus? I have to be in New Game Plus to purchase the special armor. Lorien. Is that it? No. That's not it. Here it is. Firelink Helm. Yeah, so we'll buy that. Buy this. And then we'll buy this. And then we'll buy this. There you go. We got the game... we got the logo... armor, so we'll go ahead and put that on, and then I'm just gonna change it to New Game Plus. When did I get this? Firelink. Hey, that is a skinny neck. Alright, Firelink. Where's the Firelink armor? Where's the Firelink armor? Here it is. Firelink armor. Firelink gauntlets. And then Firelink leggings. There we go. I can unequip the weapon. So here's the logo armor. Which is the guy, whatever. I guess you fought at the end there. I'm just gonna go ahead and we're just gonna start New Game Plus. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not even gonna do that shit. Fuck that. Anyways, I'll do that like on my own time if I really give a shit about New Game Plus. Here, I'll actually just set this character to New Game Plus anyways, because why not? Yeah, there you go. New Game Plus. Is it the intros again? Oh, it's this part again. I would say I still enjoyed my time playing Dark Souls 2 a lot. This one, again, like Dark Souls 3, I feel like is at points it's strongest when it comes to gameplay mechanics and graphics, but it's also has more like it has I don't know how to describe this game, because it's like Dark Souls 3 for me was difficult through and through. It was designed to be difficult, and it was designed to be very frustrating. At no point did I really feel like I could see, like, obviously there's like lore here, you know, there's like a bunch of lore and shit like that, and you know, that's a whole other ordeal, but like in terms of like actually like dealing with the bullshit that this game throws at you, to where, let's say in Dark Souls 1, right? Dark Souls 1 is there to troll you. This game is to literally bend you over and fuck you. There's a difference between being trolled constantly and being fucked. And Dark Souls 2 is like, sorry, if I mentioned Dark Souls 2, I meant Dark Souls 3. Dark Souls 3 is the game that's fucking you. Dark Souls 2 is the middle child that doesn't get any love or attention and gets ignored constantly, so it keeps lashing out. That's what Dark Souls 2 is. And a lot of the times where it's lashing out, there's a lot of annoying, frustrating, difficult parts in the game that were less in comparison because it was an easier game overall. than Dark Souls 1. Dark Souls 1 had such like an it was so tightly wrapped together into one thing. I still haven't played Demon Souls yet, so we'll get around to that at some point. And yeah, so like there's a lot of systems that just work in Dark Souls. You have like all the different armor pieces you can use and the weapons you could use, and you can level up your armor up to like 15 or whatever. You can level up your sword to 15 or whatever. You know, there's a lot of grind in there that actually I kind of enjoyed the grind part of. Like, Dark Souls 1 is a traditional RPG with Dark Souls gameplay, right? Like the frustrating, like hard gameplay, but it has that grind part where you're sitting there fighting enemies in these turn-based combat RPG games that you have to do, but it's more engaging. But anyways, it has that, but it's more fun in that aspect. Also, it was easier to grind for XP in Dark Souls 1 because I just did that one strategy with the like 3 ghosts in the one area. And got like, I think it was like 9,000 souls every like 2 minutes or something. It was a grind to even do that. So I would just sit there. Like, I just really like being able to listen to, like, do something, like, play a video game that I can just listen to a podcast while playing a game, or try to go through, like, an album that I haven't listened to while, like, just grinding on something, you know? Grinding on, like, a game, I mean. So, like, Dark Souls 1 really got that itch. So, like, I got completely addicted playing Dark Souls 1, like halfway through the game. Like that second half after Blighttown, after I finished the spider lady, I immediately got hooked in the game. After Ceaseless Discharge, where I genuinely fought the dude. I think I'm somehow the 1% person who has actually genuinely fought the guy, and I was trying to do an exploit that entire time. I was doing it wrong every step of the way. That fight, that had to have been the most frustrating thing to watch. Yeah, after Ceaseless Discharge and seeing like just the BS, just random stuff just kind of thrown around, being able to just go and just fucking murder them was it just felt really good. Like the power level, once the power level spiked and I felt like my character was just even stronger, and then like now that I knew that my character was strong enough to fight, then it was up to my skill at that point, right? The boss, the final boss was garbage, but he was like, if you're fighting him like normal, he's genuinely like it would probably be harder. I would say, like, if I didn't just cheese the final boss fight, he would have been the hardest boss in the series. I think genuinely. I think I forgot what his name was, but him, you know the one. Yeah. Here, I'm gonna go ahead and quit the game now. He's gonna stay in New Game Plus and never leave it. Hope you enjoyed that, buddy, because I don't give a shit about New Game Plus. This is not the type of game that I'm going to go in a New Game Plus format for. To be honest. So Dark Souls 3, like, was hard the entire time. There was no point where it was kind of easy or whatever. And the small amount of grinding that I did was also not as exciting. And because I had to just sit there and do it over and over again, and there was like a long backtrack that I had to do to the bonfire to reset them. There's like a lot of, like, I'm sure there's large portions of enemies and bosses that I missed in Dark Souls 3. That wasn't the goal. My goal wasn't to fight every single boss in the game. It was to get through the game and beat it, so then I have like so then I can say, I beat the game or whatever. I know there's like the Nameless King. I think he's the only guy that I didn't fight, and it was on accident because I guess I didn't take the right path or something to run into him. I don't know. I don't know where he was, to be honest. I have no idea. There's even parts of the game that are just there for no reason. There's like no reason for it to exist. If you remember, past the really annoying lantern people, you meet those like cement guys or whatever. That takes you to that one boss that you fight, and he's the one that's like really easy. And I think that he would have been a somewhat really annoying boss to fight if I didn't look up a guide or something like that. Like I looked up, saw that he has a really easy exploit that he can do, and then he became infinitely easier. And I'm completely okay with that. um, but a lot of the bosses that I fought, you know, I did that at the end of the day. Um, can I be proud of it? I don't know, dude. I think what is the most sad the only way I ever felt satisfied in beating a boss in these games was if I did it in the first few tries. If I sat there fighting the same guy over and over and over and over again and eventually I win, I don't feel that satisfied because I feel like, well, I just memorized his entire moveset and won. It doesn't feel as rewarding to me because I just basically fought him over and over again and eventually learned his entire flaws in his design and his moveset. And that's why I never feel satisfied fighting the bosses. Um I did feel a little satisfied that I beat the game. That's fun. I actually did it. I got past that part in my brain that was like, you're never gonna beat this boss. You're just gonna sit here and struggle. And we did it like a piece of cake. It just again, it's like if I take like literally like apparently like a week from the game, if I take a break for like a week from the game and I come back, then I can just beat the bosses no problem. But if I'm sitting there trying to do it in one sitting, I'm going to struggle harder than it really could have been because then I get fatigued and tired and then I'm just sitting there doing the same stuff over and over again and not really making any progress. But hey, there you go. Um there's still like 22 achievements left that I need to get in the game if I wanted the 100% completed on Steam. Um but yeah, huh. Anyways, so it's kind of hard because here like it had the same amount of problems, but it was more annoying. Like it's somehow like genuinely as soon as I started using a better weapon in Dark Souls Remastered, everything became more of a cakewalk. The Zweihander was amazing in that game. Dark Souls 2, the Zweihander was decent. It was all right. It was a lot. It was nerfed, and then in Dark Souls 3, it got nerfed even more. Um, Unfortunately, the only real viable move that I could use on most of the boss fights later on in the game with the Zweihander was the dodge roll poke. That was his best. That was my best ability with the sword because I had enough time to dodge roll and poke, and sometimes on occasion, if I just spam the dodge roll enough and I dodge back, I will actually dodge the attack before they can come out, so then I actually have enough time. Now, if I was playing like with like a fast like dex build or something like dual sword kind of bullshit, maybe it would probably be I'd probably be better off. Who knows? But I have no idea. And again, this is first playthrough reviews, right? These are my first playthrough reviews. If I were to play through all these games like again, there's a potential that each ranking could be changed in the future if I ever were to play them again. But I felt so weak. I don't know how to describe it, but Dark Souls 1, where the bosses were challenging, but I felt like I could beat them. You know, I could definitely beat them. It felt way more rewarding when I could beat them with fewer tries than I did with Dark Souls 3, where I was fighting a boss like a bunch of times before I would beat them. And I had to do that like 8 times, 10 times or something. And again, my problem with Dark Souls 3 was that 90% of the major bosses that you needed to beat to progress through the game were sword bosses. There was no creative or unique or interesting bosses where they all had swords. Or like a sword and a dagger, or a sword with a shield, or 2 swords, or a sword with flame. You know, like it was just sword human-like person. There was no like interesting like, oh look, I'm gonna fight a giant rat. I'm gonna fight a giant dog with a massive sword. I'm gonna fight a fucking tree. I'm gonna fight literally the worst boss, like the easiest boss ever made, and be named Pinwheel. Like the easiest boss ever. I'm gonna fight like 3 asylum demons. That was really lazy of them. I'm gonna fight because like all these games, they're not without their sin of being like having some budget problem or whatever, where they just spam like the same bosses or something like that. What was it? I'm trying to think. There's there's the big like ogre guy in the first game that's on like the bridge, and it's like you're in like a thin area. There's the weird butterfly boss that I never even fought because I never went into that section of Dark Souls 1. I never had to fight them because they were optional. And I didn't know that they existed. Oh yeah, there was the dragon that was like super easy to beat because he just followed their tail constantly. That was fun. And then Dark Souls 2, they were like every boss has to have like an area of effect explosion at some point in time that does massive damage. I also really like the art direction and the UI and the menus of Dark Souls 2. And of course, I cannot forget the drip. The best armor in the entire series is the imported tunic, the imported gear. It's the imported gear is the best armor in the Dark Souls series, and that's what kept me going playing Dark Souls 2. Was I really liked how my character looked. I thought I looked so badass in it. I felt like a Giga Chad. Anyways, so yeah, let me go ahead and uninstall Dark Souls 3 off my computer. There we go. Never touching that again. So I think I spent a little bit more time than Dark Souls 2, surprisingly, to beat the game. Also, the final boss of Dark Souls 2 is like stupid easy. So again, like at the end of the day, I'm trying to play. When I play a video game, I'm trying to find enjoyment out of it. I don't want to. I don't want to leave a game thinking I fucking hate this game. I don't want to play it. And Dark Souls 3 made me angry and upset to where I wasn't enjoying the game. I don't find being angry and upset enjoyable in my way. Like raging at it at something, like being angry or toxic in like a competitive game or something is not something that I enjoy doing. It doesn't add enjoyment to my game. It just I'm actually genuinely upset or angry or something, and that doesn't give it points. Like I want to actually enjoy my time when I'm playing it. So the problem with Dark Souls games is that people judge it based on difficulty rather than enjoyment. And some people find the difficulty the enjoyable part. For me, and I don't necessarily find something that makes me angry enjoyable, which is why I don't find difficult games necessarily as fun unless it has a really, really fun gameplay loop. I never found the gameplay of Dark Souls that I never really enjoyed the gameplay of Dark Souls, like in terms of the swinging, the dodging, the actual mechanics of the game. I never enjoyed that. I don't find it as fun because I'm always at the mercy of my character and the clunkiness of being thrown around like a rag doll. Like if you like Monster Hunter, then you probably like that. Uh, my problem with Monster Hunter is that not only are you getting constantly thrown around and you don't feel like you have any control over your person whatsoever, it's that whenever you're hitting stuff, I feel nothing. Like whenever I hit something, it doesn't feel like it has any impact towards the monster that I am fighting whatsoever. Yeah, maybe eventually the monster, as you're slowly hammering down the health, it starts showing that it's taking damage, but that doesn't equate to how much impact you're actually like you're making. It doesn't feel like you're making any impact whatsoever as your sword just clips through them like it's a fucking Gmod, like you're using no clip in Gmod. It's that's why I didn't find any enjoyment in Monster Hunter, is because the main gameplay itself was kind of just unrewarding. I didn't feel rewarded at all, and it felt like I was just a ghost. Mm. Also, uh yeah, the layout of the maps were also disgusting and confusing, but I guess that's the point, but whatever. Anyways. Um so with that in mind, like I said, when I'm gonna be playing these games, it like let's say Isaac, right? Binding of Isaac is definitely a harder game. I see people every time I've watched somebody new to Isaac and they fucking struggle to dodge a fly, and I think to myself, the fools. And I'm sitting there playing hard mode like it's fucking candy, right? It's like I enjoy the gameplay loop of Binding of Isaac through and through. I love that there's constantly new things to unlock, constantly ways to get new stuff that you can play around with in your game. It's constantly evolving, and that's what I love about it so much. Not only that, but I also just love, like how just playing through it, and just not only that, but also having the knowledge of knowing everything about the game. Not everything, of course, but like I know so much about the game that it's so much fun just knowing, you know. So like whenever I get to watch somebody play, it's just like I know, or something dumb like that, It's but I do really I there's like it's like that's a game that you can just enjoy playing, and even if it's frustrating and you're getting frustrated with it, like what I do with Isaac is I'm struggling right now with Eve on greedier mode, like I mentioned. I'm struggling with Eve to get through greedier mode. And so what I do is I do like a good couple attempts and then I just stop playing. I'm just like I have this feeling like I need to stop playing this. I'm not getting anywhere. I'm getting frustrated, so I just stop playing. I can't do that when I'm streaming the game. I cannot do that whenever I'm streaming. So it adds this level of tension to certain games and it really does shed light on something where if in if I were to not be streaming any of these Dark Souls games at any point in time and I were to just be playing them off stream, there's a chance that I would actually enjoy these so much more because if I was getting frustrated and I'm stuck somewhere, I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna stop playing. I'm gonna go do something else, and then I'll come back in like maybe a week or something, or like the next day, depending on how I feel. Then I would probably have gotten so much more enjoyment out of these games, genuinely. But because I was under the confines of streaming the games, I had to confront the frustrating parts of the game for hours on end, which lowered my enjoyment of the game as I was playing it, right? Because I was getting more and more frustrated and angry, and I was so like you always see me trying to not get frustrated while playing through these because um if you remember my earlier on with the Dark Souls 1 playthrough, I got so frustrated. I was streaming for like 2 hours. I was just like, "Fuck this. I'm fucking done with Blight Town. I fucking hate Blight Town. I'm fucking done. I'm tired of fighting this boss. I'm fucking tired of this place. I'm tired of getting toxic poison or whatever." In reality, if I would have known to just go to the asylum early on a second time around and just go get the ring that lets you walk into the toxic sludge without having to be slowed, and then upping my I don't know what they I don't remember what they get the resistance, upping like the resistance stat. It would have helped so much. If only I knew, and I didn't. But anyways, I had to just take like a year break. I think I genuinely took like a year break because I was just other things started coming in for me to play. So I started doing that, and we only just recently picked the series back up, as you can see, and now it's in October. Um, what I will plan on doing is, um, I think on Halloween we're going to continue Silent Hill 3. That's the plan. I mean, normally what we do is on Halloween every year, we play through Luigi's Mansion, but I already played through Luigi's Mansion this year, and I got it uploaded to the archive channel and everything. So since I've already played through Luigi's Mansion this year, I'm like, okay, I'm really not in the mood to play through Luigi's Mansion. It's already hard enough to play through the fucking Luigi's Mansion every year. it's it's hard enough to do that. Because it's like I've played it through so many times that it's like um I've seen the exact same stuff over and over and over again that it's genuinely like insanity at this point at this point. But I just find it kind of funny that it's kind of like a yearly tradition. Um I do want to get through at some point we need to get through the entire series of Metal Gear. Like every Metal Gear game. Not every single one, but you know, like the one in the timelines, the one that I can actually get access to, not like the two PSP games that I literally couldn't even play even if I wanted to. So those do not count, but It's sadly like one of them is canonical though, or canonic. I think it's Portable Ops. I believe is canon to the lore because it introduces. Not only does it introduce Solid Snake, I think it's either Solid Snake or Naked Snake, and Roy Campbell. Them actually meeting up, and there's an actual storyline there. There's literally you can't even play that one. Um, Peace Walker is a very weird game that took me a little bit to beat. There's a lot of strange things, but it was also the only one so far, really, in the series so far that I like genuinely listened to every single audio tape in that game. I listened to every single one, and there was such a compelling story with the pause character. She had gone through. I know it's like a generic story where like she's like a secret spoiler, but she's like a secret agent, like she's a double agent or whatever, and she's in there to pretend to be like she's actually there for Zero. She's working for Zero. And as she's spending time with in Outer Heaven with Snake and everyone there, it's like she she starts to really like it, and like she's like, maybe this is heaven. This is fantastic. And then she gets thrown into like this whole thing where like now she has to follow Zero's orders, uh because she at the end of the day was raised by Zero or something like that. I forget the entire lore or whatever. I think that's what happened. I think she like got raised by Zero. She found or sorry, Zero found Paz in I think Mexico or something like that, and took her in and under his wing or whatever, and then raised her, and she kind of like fucking, and then she's like ends up being the final boss or whatever, and she like betrays everybody, and she was supposed to be the symbol of peace, right? But that was all like made up BS or whatever. Um, and it became such an important she became such an important character in terms of like Naked Snake's like whole like shit that he's dealing with, right? Because by the time you play Metal Gear Solid 5, because that happens like after Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker. Metal Gear Solid 5, you're playing as the medic, but he also has the similar memories. And as you're playing through it, because I almost 100% completed, I need to finish it though. 100% completed Metal Gear Solid 5. You see Paz again, but it's all just like him going through the trauma of not being able to save her in Ground Zero, even though he tried, right? And she became like a reformed like person, so like she was gonna be, there was that whole thing, and there was the one kid that was also there that you also tried to help. I forgot his name. But he's also a major character in Peace Walker. But it's just like it's so crazy to think that Kojima managed to have all of these memorable and great characters in the like Naked Snake's, Big Boss's story. His whole story and arcs and like all these characters that grow to become these villains that you have to fight with Solid Snake. It's just like it's crazy to think how many strong and interesting characters that had these very specific like stuff that they were doing, and and then he Big Boss going through the trauma and having to deal with killing his mentor at the end of Metal Gear Solid 3. And then you go to Solid Snake's side, and I don't know if Solid Snake has to deal with all the BS that the fake bit what was a Venom Snake basically created, because I think who was it again? It was Liquid Snake, kind of like in like Ocelot or whatever. They basically, I forget what happened, but Venom Snake ended up creating like the second like company or whatever, the one that you end up having to deal with. I think Foxhound or something like that. It was the same people from whatever. I don't remember the entire lore from Metal Gear, and I'm going completely off topic at this point. But uh yeah, we need to get through those games. I don't even remember why I brought up Metal Gear. I don't know why I brought up Metal Gear. Let's go back to talking about Dark Souls 3. So, at the end of the day, Dark Souls, I love the interconnected world. I don't really care that much about the backtracking system, like having the backtrack in Dark Souls, and having that ability to fast travel later on in the game was very cool. I liked that. Dark Souls 2 had changed some things where it's basically levels and you can like I mean they are kind of connected. Like, you know, you have that hub world or whatever, and I really did like the hub world of Dark Souls 2. I liked I really loved the music too in Dark Souls 2. Like the main you know like the hub world music I meant. I really liked the hub and the hub world. It's probably my favorite hub world, Majula. I didn't really care for Firelink Shrine that they basically just rehashed twice in both Dark Souls 1 1 and Dark Souls um 3. Dark Souls 1 like again it's just like everything wasn't really connected in Dark Souls 3. Like I mean they kind of were, I guess they were. I guess you could you technically I guess you could technically go all the way from 1 and just slowly make your way up, but it was such a linear game compared to Dark Souls 1. And then Dark Souls 2, eventually like you go through down a path, eventually it ends or it'll take you down to another section of a path and it keeps going. But then eventually that ends and then you get to like it's like a major boss. You fight the major boss, you take the Firelink Shrine, it takes you back to Majula, you move on to another fork in the road, and you go back through into certain parts that you couldn't get through before. And eventually those have forks and stuff, and you fight bosses and whatnot, and do all that stuff. There's some really interesting stuff in Dark Souls 2. I just Dark Souls 3 was I don't know. I can't really say for sure right now if it was better than Dark Souls 2. I think in terms of if we're going okay. So in terms of enjoyment, I enjoyed Dark Souls 1 the most. It was the game that I kept getting addicted to and wanting to just go straight back into it as soon as possible through the second half. That's why I have 50 hours on it compared to the others. It's the one I have the most hours on now at this point. Dark Souls 2, I still felt like I was ready to just jump back into it whenever I could stream. But I wasn't as eager to get back into it as I did with Dark Souls 1. So that's why I had the score lower than Dark Souls 1. Dark Souls 3, I pretty much dreaded playing this game. I did not enjoy it. Again, like for me, it should be very clear on if I'm enjoying the game or not, depending on how many hours I was putting into it. Except for the certain parts, and this one is an exception with some of the bosses that I would go out of my way to just struggle to fight and whatnot. Dark Souls 1 playthrough though did eventually become reading a wiki playthrough, which without the wiki I would have struggled more. I would have hated Dark Souls without the wiki. It really carried because it ended up giving me exactly where I needed to go, and then I learned so much more about the inner workings of the game that it actually made me enjoy it more because I actually understood it. Dark Souls 3. Again, it was just challenging. It was dodge roll, like the bosses were not nearly as interesting as Dark Souls 1 or Dark Souls 2. There were some pretty interesting boss fights that they chose to do in Dark Souls 2. Dark Souls 3 is decent, but it's pretty much just like a, hey, do you remember this sometimes kind of moment, where Dark Souls 2 did absolutely nothing like that. They had like all the weapons and stuff like that in from Dark Souls 1, and they had like callback to certain armors and stuff like that in Dark Souls 2. But Dark Souls 3 is just like everything from Dark Souls 1 is in Dark Souls 3. Like the bosses, like not the bosses, but some bosses, there's like certain enemies that you've seen in Dark Souls 1 that are in Dark Souls 3. The weapons, the armor, there's pretty much everything from Dark Souls 1, all the armor. Like even like certain characters from Dark Souls 1 are in Dark Souls 3. Like the what was his name? The Sir guy that wears the Katarina armor. He's just comes back because why not? Because he was a fan favorite. You have the sun armor, you know, the praise the sun armor shit that you have to do like some cryptic BS to get. And that's like a whole other thing where it's like, hey, look, guys, it's the armor piece from the funny meme. So it's like it couldn't just stand out, you know, like Dark Souls 3 had to basically live in the shadow of Dark Souls 1. Like it was easy to beat Dark Souls 2, I guess, for a lot, like most fans. It's easy to beat Dark Souls 2 in that case because everybody disliked Dark Souls 2. It got an unnecessary hate, in my opinion. I think they did a fantastic job for what they did. I still think the original design concept that they were going to do early on that they showed gameplay of that they later changed. I really miss that like lighting system that they were having where it was actually going to be Dark Souls, where it's genuinely dark. But whatever. It's weird because like I'm sitting here and I'm thinking about all the BS and annoying sections in Dark Souls Remastered that were just annoying, and like some of the bosses in there that were just annoying. But I would rather fight those bosses again and go through those sections again than play through Dark Souls 3 again. Um I'd rather play through Dark Souls 2 again than play Dark Souls 3 again. Um and that's just because the game has no charm to me. It doesn't have a personality in its own. It's like trying to be Dark Souls 1 and 2, and it's that's all it's trying to be. It tried to take both good things about it, and then they just kind of like did their own spin on it. And it just doesn't work out for me. Um Again, if the bosses were more unique, more interesting, and less designed to be annoying and frustrating and fast, on purpose, so then you have to just constantly do shit. Hey, Leo. Then yeah, I would say sure. Like, Dark Souls 3 would probably be. I would say it would be better than Dark Souls 2. In that case, I didn't really like how they did the armor system in Dark Souls 3. There was no real, because if you can't level your armor, it adds less personalization to the game. Like the armor pieces were so, Dark Souls 2 fucking sucks. Fuck you. I played through Dark Souls 2 and I liked it. So, um yeah, so I didn't really care for the armor pieces in the game. Like, it didn't really feel like any of it mattered. So at that point, it really was Fashion Souls. And a lot of the armor in Dark Souls 3 were alright, but also kind of samey. They really could have worked a lot better on that. But then again, I haven't seen all of the armor pieces in the game. I haven't genuinely seen all of it. Um the final boss is definitely like it's worth being a final boss. But at the same time, I I I still beat him, and it didn't feel like it didn't feel that rewarding at the end of the day. Like the boss literally like I hit the boss and then he just like disappears and then there's no like interesting cutscene till after I go to the thing. I don't know. It didn't really feel as strong as it could have been. I don't know. I really was feeling like the ending was weak actually. You know, I'm thinking about it right now. The ending was him standing next to the fire. Look, okay, let's just think about the ending of this game. He literally goes up to the fire, he puts his hands on it, and he burns. And he just sits there. And it pans out to black. Dark Souls 1, the main character goes up to the fire, touches it, he starts burning, and everything around him starts burning, it bursting into flames, as if it's like he's lighting the fire once again. And it's fucking crazy. And then Dark Souls 2, you're literally walking up to this door, you sit down on the throne, and it shuts. And it pans out, fade to blackness. That was a badass ending. Dark Souls 2 had the best endings of the series. Both endings are fucking awesome in Dark Souls 2, genuinely. The final boss sucks, and is garbage, but so was like if you're doing the parry and cheesing the boss in Dark Souls 1, then Dark Souls 1's boss also sucks. But anyways, I would say Dark Souls 1 has the better final boss and the better ending if you actually fought the final boss properly in Dark Souls 1, if you genuinely fought him without just parrying him to death. He would be the most interesting boss fight. This game tried to basically just bring him back as a moveset. Like, again, there wasn't anything original. Like, they couldn't think of something original here in Dark Souls 3. Like, it's just calling back to the older games. Like, they couldn't just come up with something original. It's like, come on, dude. Like, okay, so we're gonna make a final boss, and what he does is he randomly switches between 4 different classes that you could choose from or something. And then the final part is just the Lord of Cinder final boss from the final boss of Dark Souls 1, and that's his entire moveset. Except for I think the lightning thing. I think the lightning thing is whatever. So, anyways, if I'm gonna have to rank these, I'm gonna have to say Dark Souls 3 would have to be a 6.5 out of 10. 6.5. Where Dark Souls Remaster was an 8 and Dark Souls 2 was a 7. If I remember correctly. I would say that Dark Souls is a little bit worse than Dark Souls 2 overall in terms of enjoyment. I had fun playing Dark Souls 2 and Dark Souls 1, even with the frustrations of Dark Souls 1. I still managed to find more enjoyment out of Dark Souls 1, even with its jankiness and everything. And that was because Dark Souls 1 just there was just something about being able to level your armor, level your weapons, and just the level, like the way that you leveled in Dark Souls 1 was so much better and more interesting, and there was so many layers, and there was a lot of depth to it. Where Dark Souls 3, it's very generic and bare bones when it comes to the weapons and stuff. I don't know about the magic system on all these games. The magic system is a completely different thing. In terms of melee weapons, right? I was just a great sword, Zweihander Andy. And I mean, like, it was alright, I guess. Again, the thing is that the bosses got faster, which made it harder for me to do anything with the giant greatsword weapon. It made it harder for me to really fight any of the bosses in the game because of that. There was not enough time for you to be able to attack the bosses and then react to them in time. Because by the time they finished their animation, by frame 2, after they finished their animation, they're already going out for another animation to attack you with. They are so fast in this game that it's ridiculous. It is punishing for the sake of punishing, and it makes it feel like there's only one viable way of there's only one viable class, it feels like, in Dark Souls 3. That's my major problem with it, is that it doesn't feel like you could just play any class in the game. It feels like the one class that you should be playing is Dexterity build in Dark Souls 3, because the bosses are so fucking fast and the enemies are so fucking fast that it's like they're all off their medication. They're all ADHD kids and they're running around. They had fucking Dr. Pepper, and they're running around jumping on the bed, and they need to calm down. It just doesn't add anything to the fact that it, like, them being faster with their attacks and doing more damage with their attacks makes it so it feels less viable to use a giant sword that does 300 damage doing a slam attack. It doesn't feel that satisfying. So, like, it doesn't matter. Like, again, it's just like, I want, like, the thing about Dark Souls 1 and Dark Souls 2 was you can play any class, you can do any build, and it works. And, I didn't get that from Dark Souls 3 at the end of the day. The armors were ass in Dark Souls 3. I didn't really care for them. The weapons were, I mean, I only used the Zweihander, and they nerfed the Zweihander in this game. So I'm gonna say that they really fucked up with the Zweihander. And then Dark Souls 1 has the best, in terms of what you can do in that game. It is the most freeform sandbox Dark Souls in the Souls series. So I haven't played Demon Souls though. So anyways, so I'm going to we're going to like take a break, I think, from the Souls games because we've been playing them nonstop and we need to calm down for a minute. So we're probably going to do I don't know if I've done, let me see here. I'm pretty sure I've streamed Sly Cooper, but I never uploaded the stream. So let me see real quick just to make sure. That's the wrong thing. I need to go. That's the Google account. I wanted to go to the channel. Okay, then. Okay, let's see here. No, I never uploaded the Sly Cooper stream. So I played through it like a couple years ago. I did the entire playthrough like in one go, and I think it was like a 2 or 3 hour stream of me just playing Sly Cooper 1. And I never uploaded it. So I guess I'm gonna have to play through Sly Cooper again. So we're gonna do Sly Cooper 2, and Sly Cooper 3. I have all 3 games on PS2, and we can get through those games and play through them. That'll be our next playthrough series. before we jump back into speedrun it, what I might do is here's what I'm gonna do. I need to use the restroom real quick. So I'll be right back. Okay. So I'm back. I had a sorry I didn't play any music because it was a bathroom emergency. So we're good now. Um, so what I think I want to try doing is what I want to try doing is I want to try to do so every other stream. So we're gonna do this. So next stream, I'm gonna have to get it set up, but we will do Sly Cooper, and that's just gonna be one stream off because that's gonna be easy to beat in one stream. Because I've already played through the game and I pretty much can speedrun it. Um, that game's literally like a 2-hour game. It's super short. And then next stream we will start doing Bloodborne. And then after Bloodborne, fuck. Oh yeah. I haven't seen that emote in a billion years. What the hell? Why is it gray? Did you make it gray? Okay. Oh yeah, I changed it so it's Dalton 104. That was the options that you get whenever you're not a partner. You get like the worst possible names. Anyways, um so we'll move on to Bloodborne. We're gonna move on to Bloodborne. Um and then after Bloodborne, um while we're doing Bloodborne, we'll move on every other time to so then it'll be Sly Cooper, then it'll be Bloodborne, and then it's Sly Cooper 2, and then Bloodborne, Sly Cooper 2, until we beat Bloodborne and then Sly Cooper 2, and then, move on to the next one in the series for both of them. So depending on how long it takes for those. So then I'm constantly switching back between two games. So then I'm not every stream I'm playing that other game. Um although this did take us a little bit, Dark Souls 3. But yeah, like I said, Dark Souls 3 is the weakest in the series, in my opinion. And that's probably gonna annoy people because it's the most played one. Um and yeah, we're gonna give Dark Souls, or we're gonna do Demon Souls at some point. I have the original Demon Souls, and I also have the remake of Demon Souls. What we'd be doing is I wouldn't play the remake of Demon Souls for a while, for a good while, only because Demon Souls is such a different game compared to the original version of the game. More than two. Um, well, uh, don't know what to tell you, but Dark Souls 3 doesn't have the imported gear. So it's not that good. Sorry. It has better systems than Dark Souls 3, hands down. I like the humanity system, the hollowed system in Dark Souls 2. I like I like well, I think I didn't really care for, well, Dark Souls 2 added the level up waifu into the series, which it wasn't that necessary. They also added bonfires that like you just instantly have teleport, which is okay, I guess. Um what else do I like from what do I actually like from other than the armor? and the human effigy, the hollow system. Um. Oh. I guess the Ember. I kind of liked how you had to get certain things to get Ember. It was more straightforward. I didn't know that you could upgrade your Ember flask in Dark Souls 1. So the entire time I played Dark Souls 1, I had level 1 Ember flask, not understanding how it worked. Uh at least like in Dark Souls, I actually I liked the healing stuff in Dark Souls 2 because it meant I always had a healing item. And you always had infinite healing in Dark Souls 2. So you never had to worry that much about healing unless you got caught unguarded, which even then it's just like whatever. Healing isn't the like it's not going to break the game, which some people like to make it seem like, because it's not like you're going to have an opening to just heal all the time. So it's like okay. Um I know for a fact that Bloodborne has an annoying limited healing system in the game that forces you to grind for heals, which is not fun. And Demon Souls also has this problem as well. So I am not looking forward to either when it comes to that. And Bloodborne might end up being my least favorite. We'll see. It might be in terms of aesthetic. I think it'll be my favorite looking game, but in terms of how it plays, I don't know if I'll end up enjoying Dark Bloodborne more than any of the other ones. I I find that hard to believe. Anyways, that's gonna be that, I guess. It's 8 o'clock. Okay. Um, I was debating on whether or not I just end the stream and just go enjoy life, and then we stream again some other time, or if I end the stream and then do some Isaac runs, like in the stream is, and then restart the stream and do Isaac runs. And just do that for like a couple hours. Or I play or I play My Hero Ultra Rumble and then struggle. Or not really struggle, but play that, but that would be kind of dumb to play on stream. So I don't know if I want to do that. So I don't know which one I want to do. I managed to get an hour and like 20 minutes out of just talking. So, uh, yeah, eventually I do want to get like I mentioned, I want to get through the Metal Gear series. Uh, and yeah, I'd probably start with Metal Gear Solid. I don't even want to touch Metal Gear or Metal Gear 2 because I just don't really like how they look. Or their gameplay is going to be too limiting. My problem, I think for Dark Souls, or sorry, I think if I were to play Metal Gear Solid, I want to play Twin Snakes because I've seen so much gameplay of Metal Gear Solid. Like I already know the entire series, like the entire story of Metal Gear Solid 1. It's just like I feel like I wouldn't be able to get through it. But if I played Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes, the remake version of Metal Gear Solid that that Kojima said is what the game he envisioned the game to be like originally, then I might like Metal Gear Solid 2. Or sorry, Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes, which I've never seen anything. I haven't seen the entire game of Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes. So I feel like I could just skip Metal Gear Solid and just do Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes, which will be the same thing, and will also have the same gameplay of Metal Gear Solid 2. So I'm used to Metal Gear Solid 2's gameplay. So that might actually be the best choice, the best option. Because then I won't be upset or not. Because, like, anytime that I've thought about the idea of playing Metal Gear Solid, I've just been met with this weird feeling of not wanting to go near it or not even having any reason to play it. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna switch. We're gonna switch the game that we're gonna play. um. Hold on. We're gonna play Binding of Isaac. Repentance. I'm gonna stop I'm gonna stop the stream and we're gonna I'm gonna restart it. So give me a second.